Next thing you know, you're kicked out of your friend group. Not to mention, historical estimates put the number of Puritan women who were pregnant on their wedding day somewhere between 30 and 40%. That doesn't make them much of an exception for their time, though, since, number one, it's often believed that for centuries women in the past were virgins on their wedding day. And while virginity was definitely prized among the upper class of Western Europe, for most people things were very different. It was still valued for working and middle class women to be virgins for sure. But there was also an understanding that once a couple was together, they were probably getting busy. After all, the big reason upper class women were expected to stay virgins was money. If they had sex outside of marriage, it could jeopardize inheritances, since a husband might end up raising a child that wasn't his own. But working class women didn't have much for their children to inherit anyway. This is reflected in a study that looked at marriage and birth records during the 18th century in rural England. Of 49% of brides that could be traced to birth records in the same parish, 1/3 were recorded as giving birth within 8.5 months of their wedding. Using additional records to track down missing data, researchers concluded that in rural England, anywhere from 1/6 to 1/3 of brides were already pregnant on their wedding day. Considering that most sexual encounters don't end in pregnancy, we can't even imagine how many times those couples had sex before heading to the altar. If you thought these myths were strange, just wait until you hear the real stories. Check out weirdest sex customs around the world and see how bizarre human traditions can
Wait, what? Your storytelling? Stop trying, stop.
Are you earning enough interest on your savings? Raisin gives you free access to some of the most competitive rates on fixed rate bonds and easy access accounts from banks, credit unions, and building societies across the UK. Simple and convenient to use.
For extreme hair growth. Apply this twice a week. This natural remedy can work on many different types of hair loss problems, whether it's autoimmune, nutritional, or even an overgrowth of some type of fungus or pathogen. And you're going to be using the juice of an onion. I'm going to show you how to supercharge that recipe to take it to the next level. If you're skeptical, you should be, because there's so many things out there that really don't work. People want to know, is my hair going to smell like an onion? You're going to actually wash your hair twice after you apply this. There's not going to be any smell of onion. What is so special about an onion that can help your hair? It's loaded with sulfur. The sulfur is not necessarily related to hair loss, but it is related to the raw material that can help build the main protein in hair, which is called keratin. Keratin is sulfur-based. Onions have the highest amount of quercetin. Quercetin is going to help your hair. One of the biggest things that quercetin does is it helps suppress this autoimmune attack T cell situation. If your hair loss is alopecia, where you have these patches of hair coming out, it can help you. On top of everything, quercetin helps increase the growth hormones of the hair follicle, which is right at the root of the hair itself. And on top of all of that, quercetin is a powerful antimicrobial, protecting your scalp against overgrowth of yeast, fungus, mold, and if you also have dandruff or some other problems going on in the scalp, that can help you as well. Let me simply tell you how to do it, and then I'm going to get into a few little tweaks to this recipe to take it to the next level. This whole recipe is based on organic red onion, because red has the most quercetin. Take one onion, chop it into small pieces,
I'm
put
gonna
it
go.
into the blender, and blend it down. Then you're going to take the blended slurry